One thing I don't know if people really consider when they go out and buy tools is the fact that all of these tools now run on batteries. And the problem is these batteries are eventually going to fail unless there is some sort of standardization of what type of battery is being used. As those batteries die out, those tools might become worthless because you can't power them anymore. And for that reason, I have chosen Ryobi as the tool brand that I use for everything. So it started with my impact and drill set, which I got back in 2013. So it's been going for 6 years strong. They don't look beautiful, but they still work perfectly. I haven't had any issues out of them. And then it expanded from there with the weed eater and leaf blower, the hedge trimmer, and then the vacuum. While these are all not perfect tools and they may not necessarily be the best, every single one gets the job done and they all use the same exact type of battery. So as I need more batteries, I can just go pick up a set of 2 of these enormous ones for $100 when they're on sale, and they will work with all of my tools. Some of the tools do come with a battery. They'll come with this small standard battery. And if they come with a battery, they'll also come with a charger. However, some of them are sold without the battery. You can get them cheaper that way because I already have plenty of batteries. So if I need to add a tool to this, I'm not going to be using all of these tools at the same time. So I can just use my existing batteries in whatever tool I add. So if I wanted to add something else to this collection, I can get it a lot cheaper because I already have the batteries to support it. And Ryobi has said they're going to use this same type of clip-in system for the foreseeable future, so that even 10 years down the road, if these are all still working, I can continue buying batteries for those, or as these break and I replace them with other Ryobi products, I can keep using the same style of battery as long as these last. So that's the main reason that when I wanted to get an electric ratchet, I did not get a Milwaukee, because A, I think it's a little bit too expensive for people who are just using them on occasion, and B, I did not want to have to buy into a new battery system. I used to have a DeWalt hand vac and I used it for years. Eventually the DeWalt battery started to die out, and instead of spending a bunch of money on another DeWalt battery, I converted that DeWalt to work on one of these batteries, which worked for a little while, and eventually I just broke down, got rid of the DeWalt, and got a Ryobi hand vac. And while this one isn't quite as good as the DeWalt in certain areas, it's better in others, and of course it works with my batteries. So you really have to do a lot of research on what tool brand you're going to buy into. So if you're going to be a Milwaukee person, be a Milwaukee person. Just know that you're going to be buying really expensive tools for everything. If you're going to be a Cobalt person and you're going to buy the Lowe's tools, just look at what they have to offer and go ahead and buy into that. I'm sure that they are just as good as the Ryobis. You also have Ridgid. Ridgid is a great brand, I think, for people who are like contractors, construction workers, mechanics, anyone who is doing a lot of work with those tools. The nice thing about Ridgid is they have a great warranty of if it breaks, they'll replace it. So it's more expensive than these at the beginning, but if you're using your tools all the time and they are your livelihood, they'll just keep replacing them. So my uncle, who's a contractor, uses exclusively Ridgid tools. All of his stuff is Ridgid, and he knows that he can use all of his batteries with it. And as things starts to break, he can just get them replaced for free. So that is a great system. You just need to look at what are your needs, be realistic. If you're only working on your car a couple times a year, you don't need to buy really, really high-end stuff. You can get away with some more normal things. I'm working on my car and around my house all the time. I'm using the weed eater and leaf blower every single week. I use a hand vac almost every day. I use these at least once a week, and I am beating on them hard. I'm using them for a lot of stuff, and they've all worked perfectly fine. I haven't had to replace a single Ryobi tool, and I've only had 2 batteries wear out, and I like to cycle through the same batteries so that I can use them, abuse them, and then move on. And of course, they all use this charger. This is a nice intelligent charger, so it can read if it's a bad battery. It can try to deep recharge an older battery that you've let sit for too long, or if it's been due discharge. So it comes with some nice stuff. It's got some great features. And of course, they have a huge selection of tools. So they have all sorts of tools for around the house, working on your car, working in the yard, woodworking, metalworking. They've got circular saws, they've got lawnmowers, multi-tools, they've got a bigger impact wrench that could actually have enough torque to take your wheel off. They've got a ton of different options. So my brand is Ryobi. Just look at whatever options are out there and select the right one for you. Of course, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and drop those in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next week.